My brain's splitting off in so many different directions. My brain's splitting off in so many different. My brain's splitting off in so many different directions that no one has the answers to. My dad was a shrink. Certain things upset me. And my dad was a shrink. Certain things upset me. And my dad was a shrink. Things upset me. What's the furthest star, and then what's beyond the furthest star? What's the furthest star, and then what's beyond the furthest star? What's the furthest star, and then what's beyond the furthest star? Questions that no one has the answers to.
I'm Jeremy Greer.
And I'm Gary Butterfield.
And this is Days of Future Cast, the podcast where Gary and I talk about comic books, and we are in X-Statix. We are towards the end of the Back from the Dead arc. Gary, catch us up on what's been going on in this arc. It's been crazy out here.
Yep. So originally, this was supposed to be Princess Di. The government killed her, but they had to change it because Marvel decided at the last minute it was in bad taste. So she came back. She fought a team called the Eurotrash. That got wrapped up real quick. And then there's the Beltway Sniper, aka the Random Killer, aka Mr. Code, is showing up and involved in this kind of, what is that called? Blackmail kind of scenario where there are documents that expose the team, has specifically Spike Freeman, but all the team have their fingers in the pie, like selling chemical weapons to Saddam Hussein.
Yep. And we just had the surprising death of Lacuna, shot by one of the snipers that Spike Freeman hired in order to protect us from coming out, which is
and the surprising death of Spike Freeman, and
also the surprising 360-degree no-scope death of Spike Freeman. And and we open up on Lacuna's dead body with a crowd that is assembled saying, "He's up there. He's got a gun. Where are the police? Where are the TV cameras?"
She ends up in a coma from this. She doesn't quite die just yet, but she's definitely implied to be dead at this point.
Yes.
You know? And Guy was right there. He we don't know where he's at, and we get this like great little thing of him levitating up the building. I love angry levitating because he has to do it in like a lotus pose.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he's just like angrily yogaing up the building.
It's extremely, because he's talking about like how much concentration it takes. Like you have to be very sensitive to every breeze and change in the atmospheric pressure. You have to be sensitive to every thermal blip. Like you could tell he's really pissed, but also having to really focus. And he gets up there where our cap turned backwards guy is kind of, he pulls a gun and starts trying to shoot. But of course, Guy takes him down pretty quickly, but before he's able to extract any information, the guy just literally commits suicide via mind bomb.
Yeah, he smiles, and these guys have a suicide bomb thing, this way to explode via thought, kind of like a cyanide capsule, but for explosions.
Mm-hmm.
Guy doesn't get blown up in it, but these shockwaves are like really, really painful to him. Here, this is where he first takes he has a special pill he can take that will give him about a half hour of normal senses. He bites in, it's for emergencies. He reaches into the guy's like blown open head and finds a chip. Like, this is really fucked up. This is high tech and require a lot of mental training to do this, like to indoctrinate people to blow themselves up rather than be questioned.
Yeah. Pretty intense. The amount of pills that Professor Xavier gives these B teams is getting very concerning to me.
It's all fucking it's danceteria in this shit. Like Professor X gives them pills and sex suits.
Yeah,
it's very Studio 54.
It's intense, dude. This is extremely intense.
Studio X.
As he's expecting all of this stuff, he realizes like only then does he have time to realize like, oh yeah, there's a body lying down there that I should probably go take care of. The girl that just told me that she loves me. And then we do a cut to the hospital room where she's, obviously in critical condition and a coma, and her parents are blaming Guy for all of this of like, she's the reason you're the reason she's a TV personality. You should have just let her in X-Statix and that kind of stuff. And it's very, very strange. Like it puts a weird guilt trip on Guy, I think, to be like, I don't know, man. She just started showing up. Like, what was I supposed to do about that?
He blames on the random killer. He's like, she's probably shot by that. Like a lot of people are dying. And the dad's like, do you really believe that this was random? And he knows it's not random, of course. So he leaves and they go back to the team. They're kind of post gaming it. Talking about how Spike Freeman set up Lacuna to be shot, but she was smart. She gave all of her documents to the lawyers to be released in the event of her death. They have to, so they're like, okay, well, we have to get to the lawyers. The way that they do this is by reading the list of all of the lawyers in LA while Guy holds her hand, and he can detect multiple or like minute responses. So if she hears a name she recognizes, she'll probably have this little micro twitch, and he'll know.
I feel bad that they're in LA and they had to get all the way down to Williams. That means that they've been doing this for a long time.
They say it's been over an hour.
Yeah, which I can't believe. Like I think it would have to be longer than that. There's got to be so many lawyer agencies in LA, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a great, so they teleport there and they see all this paperwork. They're trying to find the files. Tiger just says like, let's just explode everything. And unfortunately the lawyer comes in. There's this great like shit-eating grin on this like Mr. Monopoly Man lawyer. Like, doesn't this guy look like he would own Little Orphan Annie?
It's really funny, dude. He's kind of like biting the all of the paperwork that he's carrying. Like, and like he's so ecstatic with himself. He just can't help it. He's just,
it's a big tee-hee moment.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a very big tee-hee moment. I've got a picture of myself. Autumn and I were at a bar one time, and we didn't realize that Santa was going to be there. So like Santa showed up with a bunch of family, but like before like the family showed up to hang out with Santa was just there chilling. So we were like, shooting the shit with Santa at the bar or whatever, and they're like, oh, we should get a picture, says the bartender. So we're like, oh, okay, sure. So we square up at the bar, and Santa's like standing beside me, and as soon as this chick said smile, Santa like poked me in my ribs, and it was just, it just got me like, and in the picture, like it's a perfect encapsulation of me just going like, just trying not to giggle laugh at this, like I'm just like I'm at one of those, and it's
he Pillsbury Doughboy'd you.
Oh dude, he straight up Doughboy'd my ass, man. It was not cool.
He got Doughboy'd by Santa.
I got
Carnoel Doughboy'd you.
I can't believe Santa Doughboy'd me. And the picture is hilarious. It's an awful picture that I don't ever want to post anywhere because it's just like me in full like gotta bullshit.
That is great.
Very much this facial expression.
Love it. So the idea is they're going to release the documents no matter what, and they do.
Yep.
We get the news report that one late news lady gets a day off. Another news lady is being like, X-Statix and Spike Freeman have been selling chemicals to Saddam Hussein. They've been, more documents implicate other members in their filthy mutant crew in illegal transactions involving drugs, land scams, and MP3s. Very quaint.
Yes. Tyke says MP3s, that's a damned lie, which I think is very funny.
Yeah. Very cute.
We see dead girl on the floor with Spike Freeman. She's like holding onto his dead body for some reason. Like that's going to come up in just a little bit, but for now she's like, we just see it in the background. It's very strange. And like as all of this is happening, we go back onto the news where Lacuna's parents have brought in some quote charismatic Christians to pray for her. And I just love this dude with the white turtleneck and the jacket on, dude. Like this is such a like a just slick Southern like priest or not priest but preacher guy. Like it's very
he looks like Paul F. Tompkins to me.
He also looks like Paul F. Tompkins playing the character that I am envisioning in my head. So
yeah. I love this. They say we're asking the whole country to pray for our daughter, and we get one panel joke of a little moppet praying, saying, "And please make Lacuna better again, and please make sure those atheistic perverts and ecstatics roast in the fires of hell. And I want a new scooter for Christmas."
Nailed it. Perfect.
Praying, very funny. They're just like there's a little action shot. Tyke's like, "Okay, the party's over. We have to adopt fake names and go to South America." Vivisector's like, "I shall be Madame Salsa, the sultry dancing queen of Rio." Like very cute. Like this is, it is funny. But Guy has the idea, like we have to do something to win them back. So they decide to complete Henrietta's work, like by taking out the random killer, taking out Mr. Code.
Yep. And we go to Dead Girl, who is looking a little strained as she's holding on to Spike Freeman. And like we see, I guess we go inside the spirit world where Spike Freeman is just trying to buy things. I need to confer my own existence by buying something. And of course his money doesn't work in the spirit world. And Dead Girl shows up and is like, yeah, you need a card. And she hands him like the Bank of Hell sulfur card, which I don't know what joke this is, but I just dig the weirdness of it. Like, I don't care, but it's very funny to me.
It's super weird. So this is actually, it's scary. Like, he talks about like how he's dead, but he's still hungry and thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yeah, you don't exist, but you still had all the pains of it. It's going to suck. I recently listened to a podcast about the afterlife, a How Stuff Works episode about hell. And this was an old conception of the afterlife, that you would still be hungry and thirsty. And that is why like people in Egypt, for example, would give you like leave food and beer and stuff in your tomb, because the idea was you'd be in like an area like this. And if they did that, you'd be able to eat that stuff while you waited for your judgment or whatever, so this has this weird basis on actual religions. Here it's kind of like this purgatory thing where you're at this marketplace until, you go to heaven or hell. But it's really strange.
Yeah.
Like it's just a couple page little subplot, but is interesting.
I also really like the effect of everything being in kind of black and white, except for Dead Girl's face and like Dead Girl,
and her makeup, her lips, and her nail polish.
Yeah, I always just assumed that was not makeup; that was like her legit, like that's her, like her stuff would be blue because she's dead, right?
Yeah. Oh, not her nails though.
Why would her nails be blue?
Why would they, or why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they? Like, because she's got to be cold, right?
Well, yeah, but her skin isn't blue.
It's got a bluish tint to it. I don't know why we're arguing about this. I don't care. Sorry, I'm just gonna back up. I don't know why. Like, it's one bridge too far for her to paint her nails blue, but not her lips. I'm like, no, absolutely not.
That's why we need a girl on this podcast, dude, because they would know.
They would absolutely
they'd be
know.
like, oh yeah, that's definitely makeup.
Yeah.
Also, I'm colorblind, so like, there's literally no reason why I should be having this argument whatsoever. Like, no shit. No, it's not color. That's not the color of it. Like, okay, Gary.
Be like that dude on the new girl. That's as brown as a dollar bill. Like, dude, that's green.
Yeah. Basically, she's trading him this credit card so he can have some creature comforts while he waits in exchange for information.
Yep.
And he'll take it because why wouldn't you? You're dead.
And it's time for a team op. Like, they're all gathered up outside wherever this is, and it's time to go kick some butt.
Mm-hmm. It's like a compound. Mm-hmm. This is where they're training disciples. They're programming them to be killers. Pretty neat. They're going through, like, they're like, hey, Henrietta, are you sure you want to go? And she's like, I'm in. And they raid the compound. As soon as the newscopters show up so they can be seen, they do it.
Yep. They also save some kids because they were holding some kids hostage. So that's some good news, some good optics right there. Venus de Milo takes a hit, and then our villain, Mr. Code, comes out with what looks like not quite nunchucks. I don't know what you call these things, but and it's time for him and Guy. Daredevil sticks. Sure, yeah, that's definitely the term for him. it's from the ancient order of daredevils.
Yeah, he's also kind of dressed a little bit like the bride. He's got a yellow jumpsuit on.
I thought the same thing too.
Like
yeah.
Kill Bill.
Yeah. And Guy and this dude are like duking it out when Henrietta kind of jumps in to try to save him and just gets immediately murdered. Like there's a lot of weird neck stuff in this issue, Gary.
Mike Allred knows how to draw a broken neck.
Yeah.
He's real good at it. It's real dark. It's real scary. She's just making noises.
Not good.
As she's dead. And they fight. Like, basically, he's just laying it out. He's like, since you're a mutant, like, you're not really an American. The American people need heroes and villains. We shouldn't be fighting. We're just providing a story for, to inspire the American people. And Guy doesn't go for this. He grabs him and he levitates him up.
Yep.
Here.
Because he actually
drops him.
There's also like an undercurrent of like, you guys are disgusting because you're mutants, right? Like, you're not American because you're mutants. So there's a whole lot of like just that kind of bullshit happening. And then he just straight up drops him on the ground, and that's it. That dude's just dead with presumably another broken neck, right?
Yeah, probably. It seems like a safe bet.
Mm-hmm.
We never find out who he is. Guy takes off his mask. We see Guy's reaction. he says, my God, it's you. But taking off the mask sets off another time bomb from this guy in his head. So they all have to escape.
And that's never, we never deal with that ever?
I'm sorry to say that the answer is no.
Oh, well, that's a huge bummer.
It is a bummer. There isn't even, like, when I've looked online, there's not a lot of like fan guesses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I imagine, I don't know this to be true, but Mike Allroad would be like, oh, you know, it doesn't really matter who he is. It's what he symbolized, blah, blah, blah. Some kind of shit like that. I would have liked to have known who he was, you know?
And it could just also like date it. And like they were just like, hey, I'm going to put this here as a narrative hook so I can come back to it later and make it whoever I want to be once I have the idea for the story lined out. Like I can make that be Spike's clone or whatever. So.
Yes. Yeah. Chris Claremont used to do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like constantly would do stuff like this. Like you'd end up, you know, the first time Apocalypse appeared, he wasn't meant to be Apocalypse. His shadow shows up. It doesn't look like it's clearly Apocalypse. And it's meant to be like the owl, like the Spider-Man villain.
Oh, weird.
The owl. And then later they retconned it to be Apocalypse. And you end up with stuff like, you know, Third Summer's brother.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, Chris Claremont used to do this all the time. I think that's probably what Peter Milligan's going for, but it still bums me out because, you know, I think it would have been neat.
Yeah. Just to have it. And look, like if they bring X-Statix back at any point, like here's your input. Your onboarding with whatever.
Yeah. There's like that relaunch, that one shot relaunch of them putting the team together because they're supposed to do an ongoing book again at some point. And this could definitely get wrapped up in that, which would be really cool.
I got to check that out.
So, yeah, it's good.
This ends the issue. We're done. And you would think that would end the arc, but we still have to deal with Henrietta for some reason.
Fucking Coda. Like, yeah, this is one of the messiest comic book arcs I've ever read. This is a messy bee who lives for drama.
It is all over the place. But we'll be back with in a couple of days with the conclusion of this. In the meantime, if you want to support your boys, go to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. Go to your favorite podcast reviewing station. I think they have those set up in kiosk in the mall now. You just put a quarter in and you can review a podcast. Pretty easy money there.
Yeah, cheap,
super cheap to review a podcast. Go give us glow-in reviews on various services and kiosk. You can also tell your friends. All that cool stuff. Come hang out with us on the Slack as we don't talk about X-Statix in the channel very much. Instead, talk about
not that often.
Yeah, instead talk about the MCU because that's pretty much all I care about nowadays.
There is a comics channel on the Slack that I'm not in, and then there's a Days of Future Cast channel, which is MCU and comics that I like.
Yep.
So,
that's what it comes.
And there's also a manga channel. It's not like I don't go in the comics channel to stay away from manga or anything. I just don't want to. Limiting the number of channels I'm in.
We have a manga channel, really?
There's it's part of the anime channel.
Oh yeah, I ditched all them boys a long time ago.
Yeah, of course you did. Why? What are you gonna do in there?
Y'all can have it.
Nothing.
Take it. I don't want anything to do with this. This is bad.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it now. It's an active channel. There are 214 members.
Okay.
In the channel, they're talking about the new X-Men stuff, the Dawn of X stuff.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought you meant the anime channel. So.
Oh no, I didn't check that out. What kind of bullshit are they talking about that? Let's get a live report real quick on this podcast. In the anime and manga channel, there's images and I cannot tell what they're supposed to be.
Oh, cool.
Oh no, they're anime versions of like Anime Cruise, and then they've added anime Bernie Sanders.
Oh yeah, so they're just doing Bernie memes. Bernie memes are infecting everything, Gary.
Yeah, Bernie memes, and then also just general anime-ness. No tits. Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay. How long did it take?
So somebody eventually put some nudity in there.
How long did it take for tits?
I scrolled up 3 page lengths.
Okay, that's. I don't know what the average is, but yeah, that seems about right.
That seems pretty good. Mm-hmm. You know, I think it's pretty good. So come check out the tits.
Come check out the tits on Duckfeed.tv. Good night.
Umbasa.
I guess that'd be the only channel that we ever show tits in, right? Like, there's no other channel that'd be appropriate to show tits at all.
So sometimes somebody might share a tasteful nude. Like there's a Bernie meme of Bernie Sanders watching Jamie Lee Curtis strip from True Lies.
Okay.
You know, on in the movies and TV.
But that's like,
channel.
Lingerie or whatever. Like she doesn't go full on that one.
No, it's not actually tits. It's wild because Jamie Lee Curtis posted it. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I saw the chick from Battlestar Galactica. I can't remember her name now, but she was posting like that classic Battlestar Galactica image of this, like the Last Supper with him in it, and like I was like, where did you get? Did you make this? Where did you get it?
Yes. I'm looking at this tweet here from Jamie Lee Curtis. It's a picture of her dancing in front of Bernie Sanders. The first response is a guy named Curtis Cook. And his addition to this is, that scene from True Lies made me rock hard then and now.
Wow.
So pretty cool reply guy.
Good job
there.
You know, the internet has been like super consumed with the chick from Resident Evil 8. And that,
yes.
And there was that GIF going around that Sunni Legend person did. And like someone clicked on it, someone linked it in a chat, and so I clicked on it and I went into the actual Twitter app so I could see replies and everything, but I wanted to just watch the GIF. I didn't really care about the replies, but the first reply was a dude saying, I think everyone being horny for the lady has made them completely ignore the fact that those retractable finger blades don't make physical sense. Like, they're too long to fit in her fingers. Plus, she can bend them while they're retracted. And I'm like, dude, have you not ever heard of Wolverine? Like, this is just Wolverine physics here, dog. And like, also Resident Evil. Like, what are you talking about? What do you care? Yeah. Fucking ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
People are so fucking stupid.